We've been trying for decades to contain them, and slowly but surely they've been sort of sneaking through.
They may look cute and cuddly, but Dharma wallabies are in fact quite the opposite. These menacing marsupials are officially classified as an unwanted organism in the Biosecurity Act.
We've had wallabies in Rotorua area for over 100 years now. They were first liberated on Kauai Island up in the Hauraki Gulf back in the 1870s, and then in around 1912 someone brought them to the Bay of Plenty and liberated them. So from that time they've dispersed from that point to they now cover in excess of 200,000 hectares.
And that's bad news for our forests and the native birds who live in them.
Wallabies are a browsing mammal. It's very thorough at eating our little native forest seedlings, and our native forests haven't evolved. Not many of the plants have defence mechanisms, not many of them have prickles or chemicals, so the wallabies can take out a whole host of those native seedlings, stopping them from growing on to adult trees. So over time the range of species in the forest will decline, so there'll be less diversity, and some of those species that the wallaby target they're also the food species for our bird life, because they're the ones that have the berries, or the leaves are particularly palatable to birds as well.
In Rotorua, wallabies have lived around the lakes for decades.
The forests adjacent to those lakes have been seriously impacted, and that was becoming obvious even back in the 1970s. So we've been trying to figure out how to deal with the situation for some decades now.
For the most part, the bay's geography has done a good job of slowing down the spread.
Things like rivers are a major barrier to dispersal. A wallaby won't, by choice, go into water. It probably would if it was chased by a dog or something. So some of the rivers, like the Kaituna River, has been an effective barrier, the Tarawera River to some extent. But if you look at the streams up in the Mamaku Ranges, they're all pointing towards the Waikato. So slowly but surely those animals are dispersing into the Waikato.
Dharma wallabies have also been found at Rocky Cutting Road in Welcome Bay. But thanks to $27.4 million from the government's Jobs for Nature programme, a variety of tools are being used to combat the spread. Some new, some old.
Dogs have been around for 100 years, old technology, so they're a really good surveillance tool. The dog and dog handler can cover area quite quickly, big areas of country, and they give us good feedback, presence, absence. We've got wallaby there, or no, it appears they haven't got to this place yet.
A few of the things that we are looking for is the wallaby and anything the wallaby leaves behind, which are footprints, fur and scat.
The extra funding has provided a big boost to this dog squad.
It has increased our staff numbers at least double, if not triple. So what we've done, we've trained several dogs through the certification process and starting to pair them with the new handlers now. They've got a muzzle on because quite often we might be working in areas where those highly endangered bird species, ground-dwelling birds.
Once the dogs have spotted signs of wallaby life, GPS coordinates are logged.
Once we get that confirmation that yes, we do have wallaby in the area, then we move on to using trail cameras, the sort of cameras that hunters use. The trail cameras are really good at telling us if we have a breeding population, because you'll see a photograph of a big wallaby, a young wallaby, maybe two wallabies in one image. So we know, well, it's more than just one animal, we do have a breeding population.
And there's one more high-tech tool at the team's disposal.
We've just started experimenting with using a drone with a thermal camera on it to locate wallabies at night. If you look at the dogs, good at telling you there's presence. The trail camera's good at telling you got a breeding population and the rough extent of that. The drone's giving you real-time information. They can pick up that there's 3 wallabies there, there's 5 over there, and it's working out really well. Using the 3 tools together, we're getting a very good idea of the extent of the population prior to us doing control.
With the additional funding and new technology, the goal is now eradication.
You've got to have that as your goal. You know, there's the old saying, if you aim at nothing, that is what you'll get. So I think eradication is a realistic goal. We'll know within 5 or 10 years whether it's achievable with our current tools.
Gavin Ogden, Local Focus.